So start with the 6 pins underneath,
Yeah.
and then from there the jig is it's yeah. It's well over.
So we just got this car in today. It's January 18th. Supposed to be a big cold front coming in. And we're hoping to get on track in mid-summer, mid-late summer. Tim's, you know, he's 70 years old. And there's not a lot of opportunity to do this stuff as you get older. And his son races Trans Am, and so I think they're wanting to do a father-son thing, and I'm all about it. I'm down. 1969, A production HSR SVRA C3 Corvette. And he got a lot of the project going, and just life got in the way, and he didn't have the time to finish it. And he called me, and I'd built a car for him in the past, but we just hadn't crossed paths since. Vintage Trans Am car. Big block, I have a big block Chevy. I get to build some side headers for it. Basically, the entire car has to be built. Gotta do a cage. Gotta build headers. The engine's going to Pro Motor in North Carolina. Still got a VIN tag.
I thought you said you wanted a 10-second car, not a 10-minute car.
So the thing about tech is, like, as long as you ask them and you let them know what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, dude, we're not trying to cheat.
No.
No one wants to cheat. You just want to make sure you want to build the car to the rule set. Anything that's a gray area that we can argue in tech, we do on our own. We don't have that discussion, but we say this is how we interpret the rule. And some people are like, you know, they see the car and they're excited because they know they've already had the discussion about the brakes. They've already had the discussion about the bearing.
There, and I think he was maybe just welding the nuts. But you'd have to look at
Yeah.
R&D and see what you think.
Yeah.
Oh, drain both
this-
systems.
This doesn't have a pump on it.
I don't think so. I was going to ask him that because that's the original tag from Jericho. I think it was like 2017, and it says what gear ratios, but I didn't see any recess on there for it.
So they make a tail housing that has fluid pump off of the counter shaft.
So it would have the pump, and then you'd pick up a line and go to
Basically,
the cooler,
yeah.
and
What
back in.
you receive is a line out,
Yes.
right? You run that to the cooler, the filter, then the cooler,
Yes.
and line in. You can run a filter if you want. I don't typically run a filter, only because
With the magnetic
magnets
plug
inside the
in,
box.
and changing it.
Do you want to do any logging?
I thought about it. I like it, but he's the main driver. I don't think it's necessary. I think just stay away from that.
Just gauges.
Let's just do gauges.
Does your dad run diff and tranny temps?
I do.
You
I
do?
prefer that.
Okay,
I
I
like
do
to
too.
know that. And if you don't want those gauges up there, I'm okay with that. I can come up with another basically like a central logger, right? So there might be an electronic side to it, but that way the data is always there. Right?
Yeah.
Put a temp strip on it if you want to do a quick visual check, but then I can give you some alarms, right?
Yeah, I think that's good.
So the flip side is back in the day when we didn't have this stuff in the 90s, right? We would run like a warning light
Maybe. And if the driver was good enough, they caught it. But 9 times out of 10, you just broke it. It just broke.
Yes.
Right. And so nowadays, with all the technology we have at our fingertips, we don't fail parts as often because we have a bunch of warnings.
Yeah.
It's still carbureted. It'll still run on its own, right? But at least you know you can make the decision. There's 1 lap left.
Right.
I'm gonna finish this.
Yes.
Or man, I'm already getting an alarm and I'm halfway into a 30-minute race. I'm just gonna pull out.
Absolutely.
There's so many times where car development is accelerated with a proper electronic system.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing left to wonder. How many times you get in a T2 car and you're like, oh man, we're seeing this, my brake pressures are wrong.
Yeah, he really loves that.
It's the Atlantic, that's all I look at.
One, between not being a computer guy and,
Right.
and 2, not
Well, that's the thing.
having
As long as
vision.
it's there, if he wants to look at it, he can.
Yes.
Can we at least put maybe just an AIM lap timer logger?
Yeah.
That might help too, just for
To
safety
be honest,
reasons.
see if we could do like a micron, right? Because it's carved.
Yeah.
We do a micron. You get micron 2T. We get 2 temperatures. We could put our standalone water gauge and run the 2 temperatures to say oil temp and different trans, right? Or maybe you have your 2T going to different trans temp, run your oil temp, your water temp, and your engine RPM, and then the micron will give you lap time, predictive. It'll have its own RPM. Just like go-kart.
Yeah,
It's go-kart.
yeah.
It's go-kart product. Yeah, we're technicians.
That's
first.
it, we're done.
Yeah.
It's going back on the trailer.
Yeah.
Brother. Yeah.
That'll be husky.
Is this what we want?
You want flares? Yeah, too, but
Gotcha.
it's not a cheater car at the end of the day, though. You know what I mean? It'll run standard tires, so.
Right.
But he's always wanted flares.
That looks rad. Is this the Look Raptor?
Yeah. Looks good.
Okay.
So let me see.
Do you want those exposed or do you want them blended when they do the bodywork?
This seam?
The seam and the fasteners. See how it's got divots, so you can screw them on if you want to. What do you want? You want quick and dirty? It's personal preference.
Like you want to see
You want to see the
rivet
fasteners?
almost, right? Yeah.
Because otherwise, we leave this like this with clearance the inside, right? We bolt this on, and we're done.
I was thinking that too. I don't know how you're ever going to fit the dash in there, and you guys already have it. That helps with this. It's really hard project.
You have to be.
Right, because part of the design constraints of something like this, he needs to be able to get out of the car easy. He needs to be comfortable in the car, right?
Yeah.
And so we can't have the, what do they call it, the extra tall TA2 door.
Yeah.
Like there's too much work.
Yep.
And so he needs to be able to fall out of the car in no time, and also he needs to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So that will define what I do with some of this stuff. Again, we might cut it here. So this is what I do.
I know this is gone and all that
Yeah.
stuff, but yeah, I was just curious.
Honest with you, the struggle with this project is understanding his timeline, and at what level it's respecting the timeline, it's respecting the dollar,
Yep.
and then getting him on track.
Yeah, sooner.
Why are we here? We're here to be on track.
Yeah,
We're here to build the car. Like building the car is part of the journey. It's the process, right? But we don't want to be here for 2 years.
Yep, for sure.
What I'll do then is what do you want me to do with this? This rear clutch.
Chase said it's going to get cut out probably.
Yeah.
For the
Do you
new
want
body to go on.
Do you want me to save as much as we can?
I don't, if we could ever, if we lost a quarter or something,
Okay.
we would probably try and go through, somebody's making them because
Right.
We'd never go
you
back
know
to
more,
this.
you know more about it. The only thing I knew is that this guy's out of business now.
So here's what we'll do. I'll mock it up.
Sure.
And I'll do a quick and dirty. I'll do one corner. Okay. I'll do a quick and dirty, and we'll fasten it with exposed fasteners to get it on track, right? And take a picture.
Is that what you're thinking?
No, just nuts and bolts,
Okay.
right? Nuts and bolts and some.
I'll look at some pictures.
Yeah, right. And then we'll do the bodywork version, right? Legitimately for the pictures, I'll just probably smear some body filler on it to give you the idea of the difference of the two. So that's essentially identical to what we would install. The available ratios for the single box are not. They're okay.
I got an internally outside, kind of half internal Jericho for that from somebody, and it got the pedal assembly from, I don't know whose back door they were getting them out of it, but I really liked that. And I used it strictly, Matt and I drove that and strictly for the upshifts, but I could tell, you come hard down in the second,
Yeah.
you can feel that the back end
It
wind
can't
up.
take,
And
it can't take left foot braking, right foot flips only on
Really?
upshifts. It can take upshifts all day
The
long.
Camaro.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
take upshifts,
Yeah.
just,
so we started using the clutch.
but downshifts, you tried just flipping and using the left foot braking. Did
Well,
you feel it like
oh,
just
start to
down-
lock up.
Yeah, couldn't take it.
Are you a left foot breaker or right foot breaker?
I would like the left foot brake,
Okay.
you know.
We'll set it up that way. Tilton makes a fluid flow bypass valve,
Yeah.
flow control valve, and they developed it for NASCAR. Because if you remember NASCAR when they had the truck trailing arms,
Yes.
right? The road
Yeah.
racers, right? You if you watch their downshifts, remember they get real bad axle
Yep.
bang, right?
Yep.
And so they would push the clutch in, right, and right foot brake,
Help, yeah.
and it would prevent the axle. Because remember those had massive truck trailing
Truck
arms,
arms, yeah.
the trailing arms,
Wheel
this long,
box.
right? And so what Tilton did is Tilton came up with this flow control valve where when you push it in, it would decouple the clutch, right? Release the clutch normally, and then when you would let the clutch out, the way that the valve worked, it would then close, and all the fluid is forced through an orifice.
Yeah.
And now it would gently reapply the clutch
Instead of kaboom.
because
Gotcha.
you're over there trying to modulate it as you're trying to make the apex. Well, they built that. They built that, and guys had good success with it. So we can put one of those in if we struggle with that. And the rules stated that you have to run a flat plate restrictor. The throttle body had to be normal size, but they didn't call out the throttle body size. And so it was a 67 millimeter restrictor. And my dad made a 67 millimeter throttle body, and it was a big tape. But they never called out the throttle body size. And so we sat in tech after Sebring for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours.
Oh,
And then after they came out of the tech trailer, because at that time, Tommy Greasy finished second or third that race. And they came out of the tech trailer, they confiscated that throttle body, and then I had to pull the throttle bodies off the other 2 cars, and they took those.
then they gave you one out of their box.
No, it just said you need to come back with a proper 90 millimeter throttle body. Because they were after the flat plate restrictor, not this cheater cone. Because this cheater cone was like 15 horsepower. That's right. He's like, well, you never told me what size throttle body to run. You just said I couldn't do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't.
Big barrel. I have the bills.
Yes.
Did you ever read
Stop.
Hey Nate, what you working on?
Yeah. Authors walk in the door on your left. Is
What year is this?
69?
70?
What are we doing to this thing?
427 big block, Jericho, dog box, carburetor, side headers, cage. A little bit old school.
What are we building this for?
Historics.
Historics?
Very cool.
Vintage racing.
Nice.
Don't you want to go vintage racing?
Let's do it.
Put your Fred Flintstone feet up. Let's do it. You're perfect.
Yeah.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. Strap on.
You're not quite the big block I had in mind though.
Wow. More of a medium block. Are we still gonna run a leaf in the rear?
Yeah, we got to run leaf in the rear. That means no coilover in the rear, obviously.
Okay.
But the front will be coilover.
Gotcha. So what are you thinking with the bodywork? Like we've got this fancy lightweight stuff, but are we gonna leave a lot of the inner structure or just create an inner structure that like created? So basically get it down to the frame. Start over.
Gauge. Yep.
Do we have to leave the firewall and floor pan?
Firewall. I'll read the rules. Yeah. Floor pan probably modified for the gearbox.
Sure.
I wonder. The bodies. I wonder.
funny. I've been looking for an attachment point of some sort, or from the body to the chassis, and I just don't.
It's right here, homie.
I just don't see.
Look back here.
Yeah, I'm seeing that,
Yeah.
but it ain't attached.
No, it's not that.
It's got fiberglass, just like.
We probably don't want to post it. We don't know. We've never worked on a C3 before.
Ain't got no bolts in it.
You got no bolts in it.
Just nuts and bolts.
That's bolts.
We gotta put fuel cell on this bad girl.
Yeah.
Dry sump tank probably over there on your side.